What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
And we're back for the Great Debaters. And today, for our return, we're taking it to the South. 3-6 Mafia, y'all. Get ready. Alright, Amir. So, most people associate me because of my writing with the history of gangster rap as a West Coast rap fan. And I get the sense a lot of times when I meet people, they don't think or know that how much I love all types of rap. And for that reason, we decided to go with a little 3-6 Mafia, one of my favorite, and in my opinion, one of the best rap groups of all time. We're going to take it back to the year 2000 with their big song, Sippin On Some Syrup, and pick out the best verse. So, 3-6 Mafia had been around for several years. I'd had the pleasure of going to Memphis in the studio with them when they were doing the Crazy in the Last Days, Tear the Club Up Thugs album. I'd been there while they were recording some of that. I'd hung out with Project Pat separately in Memphis. So I'd spent a lot of time with 3-6 leading up to this album, When the Smoke Clears. And they were becoming one of my favorite crews in rap, and they still are. But when this album came out, I was blown away because 3-6, like the best rap groups and the best rap crews, just got better and better and better in my opinion. The production got better, and then how they used their old songs and recreated them, kind of like how Too Short did, for those that know. 3-6 would revisit their older material and then redo it and make it better as they got better lyricists, as they got better producers, etc. So it was amazing watching their evolution and then hearing Sippin On Some Syrup. And I remember being in Tennessee, in Nashville, hearing it being played in a hotel, walking around, and just being like blown away. And then down the hallway, I ran into Scarface, and I was chopping it up with Scarface, and 3-6 Mafia is playing on the radio. I was just like in a hotel, and I was just like, man, I'm like living the dream, man. Like, I'm in Tennessee, hearing 3-6 Mafia, and then I'm just talking to Scarface randomly in a hotel.
It's amazing.
It's amazing times.
I'm very jealous.
Well, it was.
I wish you didn't say that.
It was amazing, and I took a nice photo with Scarface. Like, shout out. Make sure you watch Unique Access videos where I interview Scarface. We have a lot of great conversations, man, and it's been great knowing him over the years too. But back to the subject at hand. So, Amir, for you, when you were first hearing Sippin On Some Syrup, what were your thoughts?
At first, I actually heard the edited version because I watched the music video, and the edited version
it's a little different.
No justice, I'll tell you that. But the music video is amazing.
Yeah.
With the girls on the roller skates and the little drinks, and they're eating dinner, or they're eating food together, and just everything going on. And Pimp C with the glasses and the collared shirt with no shirt underneath. It's just like so classic, and Pimp C starts it off. And actually on the album version, we get
the intro
skit going on with Bun B's talking smack and DJ Paul's talking smack, and it's just, I know you got some words for that intro. It's just awesome setup.
That's one of my favorite intros in a rap song, because when I listen to the albums, I listen to them straight through. I don't fast forward, I don't rewind, I don't do anything. And when that came on, because I got the album before it came out, because back then, you know, with journalists and stuff, you would get the album way before it came out. And I did the bio for this album, so I was going to be interviewing them, and they sent me the album, and I would listen to it, and I was just like, this intro is amazing. Like, how did they come up with this? And like, how did they conceptualize all this profanity in such a magnificent way? It was phenomenal, man. I loved it.
And then to start off with that incredible beat.
Dude. The other thing I think people don't understand or appreciate is how phenomenal DJ Paul and Juicy J are as producers, because their sound, if you go back and listen to the early stuff, the Live Your Rep, Mystic Styles, World Domination, and just hear their growth and elevation and evolution, even the Kazi album, for those that know, even the stuff they did with Gangsta Black, you know, it's just so much stuff that they produce that's so not the same And when you start getting into the late 90s, into the early 2000s, their sound just like exploded and just became so phenomenal to where they're producing for like Ludacris. And it's just like, it's so amazing, man. 3-6 Mafia, man. I love those guys. And Gangsta Boo, of course. But listening to Pimp C start this verse, I was like, dude, eating so many shrimp, we got iodine poisoning. I was like, who thinks of these things?
They need to put that one on a shirt if they haven't already. And even the line before that where he says, I'm trill working the wheel, a pimp, not a simp, got the dope fiends higher than the Goodyear blimp. Oh my god, when you start songs, and you all know I'm a sucker for a strong opening, it doesn't get much better than that. It's just so incredible. And Pimp C's verse is just a big quotable, and he's talking about obviously syrup and the orange and the yellow and just everything in his cup, and it's obviously sad that, you know, certain rappers do this so often, right? And then it ends up, you know, can end up leading to their demise. But this song was so big and so powerful, you know.
Well, it's always intriguing to me because, you know, I've never drank, I've never done any drugs, I've never smoked anything. So it's always interesting for me to hear all this celebration of drugs as someone who doesn't and has never done them myself. So I look at it just for the wordplay and the imagery and seeing the reaction of people I know that do some or all of these type of drugs. So, you know, I just look at it for the music side of it and the entertainment aspect of it and because I just don't have the experience of being intoxicated, inebriated, high, low, slow, chopped, screwed, none of that. Don't have any first-hand knowledge of what it is. I've seen it hundreds of times, probably thousands. But anyway, as we move on, then DJ Paul comes in, and it's interesting because, you know, DJ Paul, all of 3-6 Mafia, I think, are grossly underrated as rappers too. And DJ Paul, I think, was interesting because Pimp C's his lyrics and delivery is so kind of like slow, steady, and powerful. And then DJ Paul comes in kind of choppy, you know, stuttery almost, and just kind of a very different vibe on it. So what did you think when you were hearing that?
Yeah, no, DJ Paul definitely comes in, and I genuinely like his flow on this one. I think everyone on this song has a different kind of flow, and you can just tell them all apart, all of them. DJ Paul's subject matter is also kind of funny because unlike Pimp C and Juicy J and Bun B on the song, this guy is talking about doing the drugs and then having the girls do the drugs, and she's feeling good, you know, taking two with the mouth and the ass, right? She gets on the X and she's now doing more, and people are coming in threes and deuces. And it's just like, what the hell is this guy saying? Like, this kind of environment that he's describing is so crazy that I feel like if you're just listening to the song, you're not even really paying attention to that part of it, but he's saying what he's saying, and it's just something I can't even imagine, but I'm taking it all in, you know, and it's just so funny.
So is she, evidently.
And so is she, evident, exactly. So the subject matter and the flow and just everything is so crazy and also different from other people's verses on the song, but it all stays on subject, and I love it.
And then we get to the phenomenal chorus from Project Pat, who, while not a member of 3-6 Mafia, of course, is Juicy J's brother and stuff, but Project Pat, gotta shout out the Patter, because, man, I've had so many great experiences with Project Pat, man. He's one of my favorite rappers ever, and also just, he's super hilarious if you guys ever get a chance to actually talk to him, but he's also super gangster, so he has that great dichotomy, and hearing him on this song, man, it was just great because he had the Getty Green album out, but he hadn't exploded as he was about to with Chicken Head the following year, so it was good to see Pat getting a bigger exposure. And then we get to his brother Juicy J for the next verse. And I gotta say, when I first heard Juicy J's verse on Sippin On Some Syrup, I was, as somebody that's listened to rap nonstop since I was 10 years old, I don't recall hearing a verse where so many different drugs were named, and they were all being taken by the same person in one verse, and just weaving in and out of them, and I was just like blown away. Mm-hmm. No offense to the blow, but I was just like, what is he talking? Like, what? I know we're talking about syrup, but he's talking about 17 other drugs, man, in a verse.
Coke, pound of weed he was chiefing in his younger days.
Dude, I was just like, what is going on here? This is like he's got a pharmacy in one verse. Like, what you want, man? Like back in the day when Coming to America, when the dude opens up his jacket, like, what you want? And they're like, Juicy J, got it, man.
Man, and you summed that one up perfectly, because how many drugs did he mention?
Dude.
It was just insane. And man, I used to work in radio as well, and I just remember hearing stories from various people just saying they don't know how certain people in 3-6 Mafia are still alive, because they've seen them do so many drugs.
Man.
And I don't even know, and this song is like kind of a perfect example that these people are really talking about the drugs, they're doing the drugs, they're telling you the experiences they have while on drugs, and it's crazy, and some that I nor Soren can really relate to, but we do enjoy what we're hearing, and the visual things that we're seeing in our brain as we're describing it. It's just nuts.
Yeah. So, Juicy J, I think, is amazing, and I think his solo career has shown that. Obviously, he had solo career while in 3-6 Mafia, as everyone really did. But, you know, post the 3-6 Mafia, his solo career has shown how phenomenal he is in his own right. And it's always great to hear Juicy J do what he does, because his style and his phraseology, while he doesn't have the most expansive vocabulary as a lot of, in my opinion, great rappers, but what he does, I think, is phenomenal.
Oh, he's awesome.
So, Bun B comes in with a sledgehammer to end the song. And, you know, Bun B is always intriguing to me, because the first time I met Bun B in Houston, I'll never forget. I was like, man, that guy looks like Bun B, but he's holding the New York Times. And I was like, and we're in Houston, why is... And I was like, wait a minute, that is Bun B, and he is holding the New York Times. Okay, that just threw me off. But shout out to Bun B, one of the most well thought, most intelligent people, period, I've ever met, and it's great. I've had a lot of long talks with him over the years, and listening to this verse was great, because unlike, I'd say, the other 3 verses, this one is the least sipping on some scissory, but he still, you know, relates it, ties it into the topic in a more, I'd say, forceful and menacing way, as opposed to a pure taking in drugs way.
And that's pretty spot on, I would say. Also, his voice is deep but smooth, the way he sang things, and I love how he mentions John Vito. It's awesome. And yeah, he does tie in, damn right, and he does tie in the scissor as well, and he's got the cute thing on his arm, or sexy thing on his arm. I love the way Bun B just flows with his words and terms. So he closed it off very, very well.
Yes, yes. So Amir, now that we've gone through all the verses on Sippin On Some Syrup, what's your favorite verse and why? Or what's the best verse and why, I should say. What's the best
I like the favorite
No,
better
best.
than the best.
You gotta do the best, man. It's all about the best.
I'm going Pimp C, man.
Okay.
I think just starting that song off, starting the song off and end his verse, the quotables he has on that, I can already think of so many shirts that you can make just off those phrases he says, including not only just the vocal performance, but also how he portrays himself in the music video is just stupid dope. Pimp C, he just has charisma when he raps, and I think on this song, I personally believe that it goes even above the DJ Paul, the Bun B, and the Juicy J. Just in my opinion, it resonates with me the most.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna disagree, and I'm rolling with Juice, man. I'm rolling with the Juice Man. Juicy J's verse is just astonishing to me, as we were discussing, just the sheer volume of drugs that he wove into his story that he told, and the visuals that he gave Pimp C is my second or my 1A pick. But I just think the visuals that Juicy delivered, the sheer volume of drugs, the way that he, just his persona and his delivery and his style, I think works so well with the song. And I think of the four dudes, I think is the essence of the song. Because I think that, you know, the other people, the other three dudes, in different ways, do it their way. But I think Juice is like the one that really gets the essence of Sippin On Syrup. So that's what I'm rolling with. But anyway, that's what I think. That's what Amir thinks. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think. And make sure, if you don't have, or you haven't listened to it in a while, man, when the smoke clears, man, you guys gotta listen to this album. But hit us up, y'all. I'm Soren Baker.
Amir Rahimi.
Appreciate it, y'all. The Great Debaters.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the DOC, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.